Some people wake up already smiling before their alarm even rings. You wake up feeling like life ran you over twice. Here's the truth nobody bothers telling you about happy people. It isn't genetics, it isn't luck, and it isn't medication. It's what they do in the first 60 minutes. Today, we're breaking down 10 morning habits backed by real science. These habits flood your brain with the exact chemicals you crave. Not a short spike, not a temporary caffeine-style mood boost. We're talking full-day emotional elevation grounded in real neuroscience research. But stay with me until we reach habit number 7. That single habit rewires your entire emotional baseline permanently. Everyone who masters it feels the shift almost instantly. Skip it, and you skip the real transformation completely. By the end, you'll have a simple science-backed morning blueprint, one that makes you sharper, calmer, and emotionally unshakable daily. No stress, no complicated rituals, no wasted time required here. Think about the version of you who oversleeps and panics daily. Phone first, chaos first, stress first, before your feet even hit the floor. Compare that to someone who wakes up calm and unhurried. Same 24 hours, same responsibilities, completely different emotional starting point. The difference was never talent, timing, or some hidden advantage. The difference lives entirely inside those first 60 fragile minutes. Neuroscientists have studied morning routines across thousands of participants for years. The pattern that keeps repeating is impossible to ignore any longer. People who guard their first hour report significantly higher daily happiness. People who surrender it to chaos report exhaustion by noon already. You don't need a personality transplant or a dramatic life overhaul. You need 10 small, deliberate choices repeated until they become automatic. Some people will read this list and dismiss it as too obvious. Water, breathing, sunlight, none of it sounds groundbreaking on the surface. But obvious and unused are two completely different things entirely. Most people know these habits exist and still never practice them. Knowledge without repetition changes absolutely nothing about your daily experience. This isn't about learning something new, it's about finally applying it. Let's start with the very first habit right now. Habit 1 is the 60-second wake-up reset most people ignore. It sounds small, but it quietly changes everything that follows. The moment you wake, resist grabbing your phone immediately. Don't scroll, don't check messages, don't open anything at all. Instead, take exactly 60 seconds to breathe and simply exist. Scientists call this a transition pause between sleep and waking. One peaceful minute increases serotonin, your body's natural mood stabilizer. It also lowers cortisol, the stress hormone notifications instantly trigger. This single minute sets the emotional tone for your day. It tells your brain you're starting today on purpose, not by accident, not by reaction, but by clear choice. That tiny shift changes how every other hour unfolds. Picture the difference between waking into silence versus waking into noise. Silence lets your nervous system ease gently into the day ahead. Noise, especially notifications, launches your body straight into fight or flight. 60 seconds of stillness is a small price for calm. Most people never even try it because it feels too simple. But simple doesn't mean weak. It usually means genuinely sustainable long-term. Complicated routines fail because life eventually interrupts them without warning. A 60-second pause survives interruptions because it barely asks for anything. That's exactly why it works when elaborate morning rituals quietly collapse. The best habit is rarely the most impressive one on paper. It's the one you'll actually still be doing 6 months from now. Habit 2 is simple morning light exposure most people skip. Open your curtains or step outside for 2 full minutes. Research shows morning sunlight boosts serotonin levels almost immediately. It also regulates your internal clock and improves overall mood. It even increases your energy later in the afternoon hours. No, you don't need to stare directly into the sun. Just stand near a window and let natural light hit your eyes. Think of sunlight as your body's built-in on switch.
Flip it early and the rest of the day follows. Our ancestors woke with the sun for thousands of years straight. Our bodies still expect that same natural rhythm every single morning. Artificial light and dark curtains quietly confuse that ancient internal signal. 2 minutes of real sunlight recalibrates everything back into alignment fast. It's one of the cheapest mood upgrades available to absolutely anyone. Habit 3 sounds almost too simple to matter at all. Make your bed the moment you climb out of it. I know it sounds like something your parents used to yell, but here's the actual science hiding behind that old habit. Small, easy wins early in the day build real momentum. Your brain releases dopamine the instant you complete a task. Dopamine essentially says, "We finished something, let's finish more." Making your bed becomes a tiny psychological snowball rolling forward. It tricks your brain into feeling capable before anything else happens. That feeling of capability follows you into every later decision. One small success becomes the seed for many more successes. Think about the last time you accomplished something before breakfast. Notice how that feeling seemed to color everything afterward that day. Now imagine stacking that feeling deliberately every single morning going forward. That's not motivation, that's a repeatable, engineered emotional advantage. Anyone can access it, and it costs exactly 30 seconds. Habit 4 resets your entire nervous system in under a minute. Before you step into the chaos of work or school, stop completely and take 10 slow, deliberate, deep breaths. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's built-in calm mode. It reduces anxiety, lowers stress, and sharpens your focus fast. It also rewires your brain toward greater emotional balance over time. 10 breaths take roughly 45 seconds of your entire morning. 45 seconds traded for hours of steadier, calmer peace. That trade is one of the best you'll make all day. Most stress doesn't arrive because of what actually happens to you. It arrives because your nervous system never got a chance to settle. 10 breaths interrupt that pattern before it has room to build. Think of it as pressing reset before the day even asks anything of you. Athletes use this exact technique before high-pressure, high-stakes moments constantly. There's no reason your ordinary Tuesday morning deserves any less care. Habit 5 means drinking water before you touch your coffee. Don't panic, nobody is taking your coffee away from you. That sacred bond stays completely intact, I promise you that. But here's the truth. Your body wakes up already dehydrated. Your brain genuinely needs water before it needs any caffeine. Drinking water first boosts mood and sharpens your focus. It increases your energy and reduces that afternoon caffeine crash. Think of water as gently waking your brain up first, instead of blasting it awake with a caffeine explosion immediately. Drink the water, then enjoy your coffee exactly like before. Dehydration alone can mimic symptoms of anxiety, fatigue, and low mood. Before blaming your emotions, rule out the simplest explanation first. A glass of water costs nothing and takes about 10 seconds, yet most people reach for caffeine before their body has even settled. Reverse that order and notice how much steadier your energy feels.
Habit 6 is doing one small, feel-good movement every morning. You don't need a full workout or a gym membership. You don't even need proper workout clothes to do this. All you need is 60 seconds of gentle, easy movement. Stretch your arms, rotate your shoulders, or do a few squats. Or simply dance around like absolutely nobody's watching you. Because honestly, nobody actually is watching you this early. Movement releases endorphins, your brain's own natural happiness chemical. Just 1 minute of movement noticeably improves your mood fast. And here's the interesting part, backed by actual research findings. People who move in the morning report better moods later. Their happiness genuinely lasts longer through the afternoon and evening. Movement doesn't need intensity to trigger a real chemical response. Your body simply needs to know it's alive and capable today. A stretch, a shake, a slow spin around your bedroom works fine. The goal isn't fitness here.
The goal is chemical activation only. Save the real workout for later if that's part of your routine. Habit 7 is the one you absolutely cannot afford to skip. Write down exactly one intention for your entire day ahead. Not a to-do list, not 10 goals, just one intention. Something like, today I will focus on staying patient throughout. Or, today I will protect my peace no matter what. Or, today I will choose progress instead of chasing perfection. This simple ritual reduces mental overload almost immediately after writing. It gives your brain a single, clear emotional direction to follow. It's like placing your happiness onto a very specific route. Your brain loves clarity and automatically tries to follow it. This is the habit that quietly rewires your emotional baseline. Master this one and everything else becomes noticeably easier too. People who write one intention daily report steadier, calmer emotions. They stop reacting to chaos and start responding with purpose. That shift alone changes how the entire day feels afterward. Most people wake up and let the day decide their mood. An email decides it, traffic decides it, a stranger's comment decides it. One written intention flips that entirely, putting you back in charge. You're no longer reacting to whatever shows up first that morning. You're choosing the emotional lens before anything even has the chance. That's the real reason this habit rewires your baseline so deeply. It's not the sentence itself, it's the ownership behind writing it. Try this tomorrow before you check anything else on your phone. Grab any scrap of paper or open a blank note instead. Write one sentence starting with the words, "Today I will." Keep it visible somewhere you'll glance at throughout the day. Notice how often you naturally return to that single intention. That return is your brain quietly following the route you drew. Habit 8 means avoiding negative input during your very first hour. This one habit alone protects more peace than people realize. Don't consume drama, bad news, or toxic conversations right away. Don't scroll through negative comments or stressful group chats either. Your brain sits in a highly programmable state after waking. Whatever you feed it early becomes your emotional baseline instantly. Fill your mind with negativity and your whole day feels heavier. Protect that first hour like it's genuinely sacred and untouchable. It is quite literally your emotional foundation for everything ahead. Guard it fiercely, and everything built afterward stands much stronger. Think about how one bad text message can ruin an entire morning. Now imagine that same message arriving 2 hours later instead. By then, you're grounded, steady, and far less reactive to it. Timing changes everything, and you control that timing more than you think. Delay the noise, protect the window, and the day feels lighter. Habit 9 is a 30-second gratitude scan most people rush through. Not the cheesy, forced version people usually roll their eyes at. Just 30 seconds spent remembering something genuinely good in your life. A person you're grateful for, a moment you truly enjoyed, something you're looking forward to, or simply that you woke up. Gratitude increases dopamine and activates the brain's natural reward centers. It literally rewires your mind toward noticing more positive moments. People who practice morning gratitude report being happier and calmer. They also report feeling more optimistic and emotionally stronger overall. 30 seconds is genuinely all this simple habit requires from you. Gratitude works because your brain can't easily hold two opposing feelings. Fear and appreciation struggle to occupy the same mental space together. Choose appreciation first, and there's simply less room left for dread. This isn't toxic positivity, it's a deliberate shift in mental focus. The hard things are still there, you're just not starting there. Habit 10 is the habit most people never even attempt, but the ones who do experience a complete emotional shift. This habit is called your personal happiness anchor for mornings. Here's exactly how this powerful little ritual actually works daily. Every morning, do one small thing that makes you genuinely happy. It could be listening to a song you deeply love, or reading a quote that quietly inspires you to move, or laughing at a silly memory that still makes you smile, or looking at an old photo that brings back warmth, or hugging someone you care about before the day begins, or simply saying one thing you genuinely love about yourself. Just one intentional moment of real joy is all it takes. This habit anchors your mood and locks in a positive state. It makes your brain far more resilient against stress and negativity. It's like putting on emotional armor before facing the world. And here's the fascinating science behind why this actually works. Your brain keeps the emotional flavor of your first joyful moment. That flavor quietly follows you for hours after you create it. This is exactly why you cannot afford to skip this habit. Skip it, and your mood depends entirely on whatever happens around you. Do it, and you control your emotional state from the very start. That single choice changes everything about how your day unfolds. Think of your happiness anchor as a small deposit into an emotional account. You're not waiting for the world to hand you a good mood. You're generating one yourself before the world gets a single vote. That's a completely different kind of power than most people realize they have. It's quiet, it's simple, and it's available to you every morning. Some mornings, this anchor will feel small compared to what's ahead. A hard meeting, a difficult conversation, a heavy week waiting for you. That's exactly when the anchor matters most, not least. It doesn't remove the hard things, it changes what you bring into them. You walk in steadier, calmer, less likely to be knocked completely off balance. Over time, that steadiness becomes less of an effort and more of an identity. And that's the complete list of 10 habits worth remembering daily. 10 simple habits that can completely transform how mornings feel, and more importantly, transform how you feel throughout the entire day. If you try even just one of these habits tomorrow morning, you're already on your way toward becoming a calmer version of yourself, a happier, sharper, more energized version waiting just beneath the surface. None of these habits require money, equipment, or hours of effort. They require only a small window of intention right after waking. 60 seconds here, 30 seconds there, one breath at a time. Small moments, stacked together, quietly become an entirely different life. The version of you that wakes up smiling isn't lucky. They simply protect their first hour like it actually matters.
They treat their morning as the foundation for everything after. You can build that same foundation starting tomorrow, one habit at a time. Your day genuinely starts the moment your eyes open each morning. So choose intentionally, protect that first hour, and make it count. Make tomorrow morning the first morning you actually own completely. Your happier, calmer, more resilient self is closer than you think. It's not waiting on luck, timing, or perfect circumstances to arrive. It's waiting on you to simply begin with just one habit. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your entire mornings transform. Then watch as those transformed mornings quietly transform your entire life. That's the real secret hiding behind people who wake up smiling. It was never about genetics, luck, or something you were missing. It was always about those first 60 minutes after opening your eyes. Now you know exactly what to do with them starting tomorrow. You don't need to master all 10 habits at once tomorrow. Pick one, practice it for a week, then quietly add another. Momentum builds far better through consistency than through sudden, dramatic change. In a month, your mornings will look nothing like they do now. In 3 months, your entire emotional baseline may feel unrecognizable. That's not exaggeration. That's simply how neuroscience and habit formation work. Think of each habit as a single vote for the person you're becoming. One vote won't define you, but 100 votes absolutely will. Every morning is another chance to cast that vote in your favor. Miss a day and it's not failure, it's simply one missed vote.
Show up again tomorrow, and the pattern quietly rebuilds itself. Consistency was never about perfection. It was always about return rate. Small inputs repeated daily eventually produce outsized, lasting emotional outcomes. The person who wakes up smiling isn't chasing perfection every single day. They're simply protecting a handful of small, deliberate choices consistently. You have that same ability starting the very next time you wake. There's no perfect morning routine waiting to be discovered somewhere else. There's only the one you actually build and repeat starting now. 10 habits, 60 minutes, one intentional choice after another. That's all. The science is real, the results are documented, the door is open. Whether you walk through it depends entirely on tomorrow's morning's choices. Make it a good one.